All right. Hey, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the launch party for Take Care of Your Kitty, new podcast dedicated to where we dive into women's health, fitness, keeping it real about what our bodies go through. um, and we want to be able to dispel some of the myths, some of the things that we have been talking about that we should be talking about, and kind of put it out there because as our bodies continue to change and navigate through our 40s, 50s, and beyond, when it comes to pelvic health, perimenopause, um, our bodies go through a lot on that whole women game, and I think a lot of it is starting to come more to the forefront. But as we're seeing now, there's still a lot of stuff that is not being talked about, or we're finding that people are suffering in silence. So we want to get that whole suffering in silence thrown out there. Today, we launched the first 3 episodes, available on Apple and Spotify. Episode 1, The Pleasure Principle, Understanding the Role of the Clitoris in Sexual Health. Great info there. Want to have people to go ahead and hop on. I'll be trying to look at those comments there for talking about some of these episodes. Episode 2, My Neck, My Back, Navigating Perimenopause with Joint and Pelvic Health. My neck, my back, what perimenopause does to your joints and how to fight back. That was episode 2. Episode 3, that kind of conjured a lot of communication here on Facebook on this afternoon. It's an area that a lot of ladies that could be experiencing, but didn't really know there were some things that can be done without it. So that third episode, it never rains in Southern California, but what about down there? So when I'm talking, just for things won't get censored, we're going to be interchanging them little terms. So you don't have to, you'll be good to try to figure out what is we're talking about so we don't get shut down. Even though we're talking about things that are natural and anatomy, things get a little funny sometimes. So want to be able to say times where you have questions. I'm going to try to grab into the chat. Last time I was doing that, the chat did not pull up. So I may actually have to do another window so I can see some of the chat options. Give me a hey, what's going on? If you're on wherever you're logging on from, I'm live on Facebook, and YouTube and IG Live over here on the phone. If you see me, keep looking up there. Let me see who is here. And if you haven't already, it's time for you to go ahead after this to go ahead and listen to, download, subscribe, leave a rating and review. First 3 episodes will drop. So now you can get 3 different episodes so you can see, what's it all about and be prepared for more. They release on Thursday morning. So weekly show on Thursday morning. We're also going to be having some video podcasts are going to be loaded to YouTube as well. As of yet, have not been loaded to YouTube for the full episodes, but they will. You got your little favorite drink here. I have my coffee. This says life is too short for bad coffee. It's not coffee. A little too late for that. I have some chai in here. Let me see. So when we're talking about when the original thing for the podcast was, what are some things that we need to talk about, but it's not to the forefront, or we've even pushed it to the side to be like, hey, maybe no one else is going through the same thing as me, or you may have brought up certain things to your primary care physician and they kind of shrugged it off like you're a crazy person or something. And then you feel like maybe I am a crazy person. I'm having abdominal weight gain. My energy levels are off. Insomnia. My mood is a little bit shorter. I'm having issues down there. Pain with intimacy, leaking, multiple bathroom trips throughout the day, body shifting and changing. You're like, hey, why is there not a resource available out there? It seems like more recently, more information has gotten out there, or more even celebrities and things have even brought up about their struggles with perimenopause and menopause. So one of the things for the show is us to be able to dispel some myths, um, get the right education, get the right tools. So I'm a licensed physical therapist, pelvic health specialist, and a certified menopause coaching specialist. So I really lean heavily on helping women age 35 plus. Maybe notice some changing. Obviously, different things, musculoskeletal as well. So still seeing things with shoulder, hips, knee issues. Some of those things do actually increase, and we are more susceptible to certain joint injuries as we get older as well. So blending those two things of like, what is a more of a targeted plan look like for individuals that may have hormone issues, history of aches and pains, might have started noticing some changes in their pelvic health. And really, as a pelvic for therapists, we're really addressing everything: pee, poop, and sex. Don't want that to be rolled out. No. So when it comes to intimacy, our normal daily activities, where we're decreasing our quality of life by staying away from things, and sometimes you've stayed away from the thing for so long, you don't even realize that it has impacted your quality of life. So I ask ladies, hey, what some things are you going through? Oh, I'm noticing this. Or I just went to the doctor and I told them these symptoms about what was going on. And they didn't really have a good game plan, or they didn't even know that you were perimenopausal. I remember I had one lady, I think she was maybe 46 or 47, and she started listing off a host of symptoms. But guess what? The only thing that her primary care physician asked her was she having hot flashes? That was the only indicator that she was perimenopausal. She had been having some skipped or intermittent periods. She had insomnia. She had some more joint aches, muscles, and pain. She had some new abdominal area that had that was different for her. And there's a lot of different symptoms of perimenopause and menopause symptoms. And most people are just thinking, oh, that's just when I get older, that's when that happens. All of the symptoms leading up to menopause. So menopause is just that little snapshot in time where you've had one full year of no cycle, no menstrual cycle, menopause, boom. Everything after that is post menopause. So all those symptoms are perimenopause. Sometimes now they're saying 10 to 15 years span before you're actually in menopause. Are you having symptoms? So people are like, ooh, that's like late 30s. And yeah, it could be. If the average age of menopause is 51-ish, 50 to 52, in that range, some changes and things are starting to occur well before you're thinking that they're actually occurring. Very valuable information to be able, to know that for sure. I don't see anybody. I can't see any Facebook comments um, on here, just to make sure. So I was trying to get enough people to get a little teaser preview of episode 4, so that I might actually get a little opportunity if we have enough time to record that episode 4. Episode 4, this little teaser theme is Didn't You Know? Didn't You Know? Didn't You Know? Yes, Erykah Badu themed Didn't You Know? Surprising body changes in your 40s. Now, these are going to be some of the things that you may not be quite thinking about. And you're like, ooh, that's associated with me getting my body changing, me getting into my 40s. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me at Renew Her Physio. Go ahead and check out the podcast. Go ahead and subscribe, follow Apple, Spotify, look it up, listen to it, give me a rating review. More people I can get rating review, the more that pushes that up, more people are getting access to this information as well. So little snapshot focus for episode 4 is in the 40s might come with a few surprising body changes. So as we age, our body is going to shift in ways that many of us never saw coming. And if you're in your 40s or beyond, you may have already been experiencing these things. So one thing that I'll be talking about is you may actually start feeling a little bit unsteady, a little less steady on your feet. Are you like tripping over stuff, or you're feeling like, ooh, why do I feel like I'm kind of losing my balance? Boom. And if you haven't been drinking, or have another reason why, that is some things that can continue to creep up as we get older. More, like I said, more aches and pains. Yes, completely normal. So I'm going to break down some of those common changes, why they happen, how to manage them, and how you can stay strong, balanced, and injury free. With the first 3 episodes, there are some handy little guides. So if you go to the show notes, so that's in the show description, and you'll be able to grab on some of those good guides. So I got the pleasure principle. Oh, yes. Episode 1, pleasure principle. There's a nice little guide that gives you some nice, good details about the pleasure principle. Because in that episode, it's all about the literus. We're not going to say the full, so we don't get got. It's called, yeah, just go ahead and look at that episode. Go ahead and look at that episode 1, and you'll see. So within this week, one thing that I'm going to do is we're actually going to be having a nice little challenge starting. So the challenge is going to be, we're trying to get as many people to subscribe, follow, and leave a rating and review. So you're going to share the podcast, have your friends, family rating review. Boom. You screenshot that. Tag us. Take care of your kitty at Renew Her Physio on Instagram or on Facebook. And the more people that you share it with, and they actually go on and listen and rate and review, we're going to tally those up. So we'll have certain points for just the rating. You get more points if they do the rating and review, and then some more points if they actually share it on social media as well. So you're going to have your referral coming there. So as you get the word out and get your referrals going, and you'll be able to see, you'll screenshot your friends doing that. We'll be able to count up how many of your referrals, did you get 10 people to do that? Boom. Everybody that does at least one is going to be thrown into a hat for one of our prize packs. One of the things we'll be giving away is one of our good little, hey, take care of a kitty shirts. We have a wonderful soy-based, natural-based candle company that is a young woman that's actually located in the Indianapolis area. I got one of the candles the other day, and I was like, oh wow, I need this candle. Gonna have the candle in there. We're also gonna throw in some other surprise tidbits, including some a digital line for one of my 90s mix. So you get the link to one of my 90s R&B mix in there, and then a pelvic floor exercise guide. So if you want to keep a strong kitty, keep it right. I'm not going to say super tight, because super tight is an issue as well. You want to keep it right. I don't want no super tight. We'll be able to bring that into an episode as well, about making sure that we're doing the appropriate exercises. And it's not always you starting there with just doing Kegels. You may not at all. You know how you see that, like the little commercial? They're like, all you have to do, or that I'll say, just do a bunch of Kegels. You can be sitting at the stoplight. Look at it. I'm doing Kegels now. Or you can just do it at your desk. Sometimes doing all those things and it's actually too much. One thing is a funny thing, and you might go ahead and check this. When you're standing at the counter, washing your hands in the kitchen, whatever, are you clenching your booty cheeks? Think about that. All right, just so the next time you stand up and do that, see if you're clenching your booty cheeks. If you are clenching your booty cheeks, just standing and doing, that could point us to you having overactive muscles down there in the pelvic floor. That may also lead me to think that maybe the whole tightening situation isn't the go-to for you to begin with. You may have to just focus on actually relaxing the muscles. Sounds like it's weird, huh? That's why it's important to get an assessment by a pelvic floor PT. That's why it's important. I'm able to offer some consultations virtually and in person. So don't live near me. It's all good. We can make sure you get the help and things that you need as well. I'm going to see if I can click on here. To Facebook. Okay. Oh, well, that's where I see myself. Let me scroll this over. Okay. I don't want to double volume, so. Okay, perfect. Let me get out of there. Don't see any questions or anything on there. Once again, you're just joining in now. Take Care of Your Kitty podcast is live on Spotify and Apple Music. First 3 episodes are dropped. The Pleasure Principle, My Neck, My Back, and It Never Rains in Southern California, but does it down there. Strategies for you to be able to keep the rivers flowing, keep the rain flowing as you get older, as different changes in life cycles occur as well. Preview for that 4th episode is Didn't You Know? Didn't you know? Erykah Badu. Didn't you know? Surprising changes that occurred during the 40s. That episode is dropping on next Thursday. Episodes are weekly on Thursdays. Also going to be having some video podcasts as well on YouTube. So you'll be able to see my face, I guess, instead of just hearing my voice as well. I'm seeing Instagram Live over here. I see Sin Juicy. I'm a little too far away. Tice Adams, Lala Harn. Give me a wave. Say a hey, hey. That you're on here. Facebook Live. I'm looking to see if I have any comments. I'm not seeing any comments on here so far. Perfect. Yes, got that. Take care of your kitty. Another thing to think about is, and I posted this statement on Facebook today. I said, your kitty is dry because you're dehydrated. Y'all hear that? Your kitty is dry because you're dehydrated. So if you're not getting enough water in, she may be coughing down there, and you may be trying to figure out what you need to do. You might just need to start by drinking some more water. Boom, water right here. There's a lot of simple things that you can change and adapt just by just drinking some water, adding in the right type of movement, adding in, sounds simple, more fruits and vegetables. The same thing that's helpful for your joints is helpful for the kitty too. You don't want out there be out here coughing on its last breath, last dip, and you're trying to figure out what elixirs you can use. It ain't the elixirs, I'm gonna tell you that. It's that water. If you're thirsty right now, she thirsty too. Just check that. Say ouch over there. If you're thirsty right now, she thirsty right there. She thirsty too. If you're just hopping on, prize competition 1 week, beginning today, ending on next Thursday. Like, subscribe, rating, and review, and shares. So you'll see posted on, actually, we're going to go tomorrow, give you a little time, Friday to Friday. You'll see posted on Facebook and Instagram the rules and how you're able to get points so that you get into the prize pack. One of them is going to be one of our good Take Care of Your Kitty shirts. Awesome soy-based candle, smells great. In the future, we're going to actually work on a customized candle for Take Care of the Kitty crew, but not yet. So we got our shirt, candle, digital uploads. So digital, we're going to have that 90s hip hop, one of my 90s hip hop mixes. Boom, send that right over to you, as well as a pelvic floor guide for women age 40 plus. I might add in a little extra or something there too. But we got a week for shares, rating and reviews. You share with someone, they do a rating review. You make sure you get that screenshot, make sure they hashtag, and then you can get the credit. So you're gonna add up points, person with the most points, boom, we get that prize pack. Might have a couple of prize packs available as well. How we doing over there on Instagram? Anybody got any tidbits, or if you listen to any of the episodes, what do you got? What was something that you didn't know, or you found like, ooh, I need to be more aware of? Good deal. I got my chai here. Y'all sipping on anything over there? Perfect. Oh, looking for a little snippet. I see. Okay, snippet. What episode? What episode do you want a little snippet over there on IG? Got some lot of good stuff. You might want to get a hold of that. It Never Rains in Southern California. That's actually, when I just checked, I think that was the top download for today as of now. That could have changed, but I just checked before before I got, or a little bit before I got on here. I checked that out. So you might, that might be the one. Let's go back and see what we were talking about on that one. And number one, episode 1, that pleasure principle, that might get you too. So the pleasure principle is about your iterus, confidence, and control. So I don't want to get shut down, but that's why it's the iterus. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you on that first episode. So we can this will actually be good. So we can break down a little bit about when I was talking about like what the anatomy looks like. So one thing that people may not be aware of is that, and I said, guess what? You might be a little blown away. The iterus contains erectile tissue. So this erectile tissue is similar to the tissue in the eggplant. Yeah. So guess what? The iterus is that female version of the eggplant when it all comes down to it. Boom. Think about that. Has erectile tissue. It also has a complex network of the tissue and nerves. So those nerves make it your most highly sensitive erogenous zone. So what happens? So when you think about the iterus, think about it being like the unsung hero in your sexy health journey. It's all about control, and that gives you that control over your pleasure. So it is important to note that some women that have told me that they felt like something was wrong with them, or they have never experienced the big O with just the eggplant. That is perfectly normal. Greater like 70 to 90% of women do not achieve the big O with just the eggplant alone. Because of the placement, it has to have direct stimulation. So you're not broken. That is perfectly natural. So that's why we have to know kind of like how our body works, and to be able to understand how we can adjust that pleasure principle. So I think it's something like, where is this? A portion of the uterus has 8,000 nerve endings, and the uterus has more than any other part, any other nerve endings, any other part of the vajayjay. So think about how sensitive that area can be. So once that area is excited, then that also increases that pressure of everything internally. So that pressure, or the swelling of those outer lips, it may cause that portion of the uterus, the pea-sized portion at the top, to be able to be more exposed. So as you get the excitement, it adds more pressure to your vaginal walls, and that stimulates lubrication. So that's what I was talking about. Hey, you ain't been drinking that water. It's harder for that lubrication, the juices as well, if you are not drinking water. So think about, once everything, the lubrication that increases the feelings of pleasure, and now that's going to accommodate eggplant. That's how that body is working. So what happens with aging? I know we just always trying to get the short end of the stick. Maybe not literally. So as we age, there are hormonal changes that can impact our sexy time function. So that includes changes in the uterus and the vagina. So there can be reduced sensitivity, dryness, even shrinkage of some of the tissue as well, due to lower estrogen levels. Estrogen is the driver of a lot of body and protective function. So what's happening during that perimenopause transition is estrogen levels are and all. It's like up, down, low. It's headed on its way out because that estrogen level is high because it's during your childbirthing years. So that's signaling like, hey, you transition on out of that childbirthing time. We don't need all this estrogen. So estrogen is a driving factor for a lot of different changes that are occurring. So lower estrogen levels, we start noticing different changes of the vajayjay. So, but it is important to maintain blood flow in the pelvic area. So just like any other part of the body, you might need some kitty maintenance as time goes on. And ways for that kitty maintenance is going to include either with solo, with a partner on there. So think about that. You need some maintenance. Just like you're going in there and getting tune-ups on your car, tune-ups on the key thing when it comes to or also now there are several things that individual ladies who have I was just actually in a lunch, and the individual was having pain with the eggplant, and they had just said stop. Like they had decreased quality of life. They're having pain and discomfort, and this individual was not going through perimenopause changes, or had not expressed some potential changes yet. So it's kind of becoming like common or uncommon for us to kind of just grin and bear it, and I just have to make it through it. That ain't quality of life. This is not just a make it through it situation. Having an evaluation by a pelvic physical therapist will be able to see what are some needed areas that we can address. Also, he talked about and going through a practice that really specializes in women and perimenopause. General practitioners, they don't have training in menopause, so that's why your primary doctor can't help you. They just don't have the training. That's not where their focus is. So looking for someone that actually had training in treating women 40 plus. So let's talk about some things that we can do when it comes to improving quality of life. And this dips a little bit into It Never Rains in Southern California. So there are a couple of different things outside of like diet and lifestyle. Now we can talk a little bit about, um, let me go down to some resources to help improve vaginal dryness and libido. So, over the counter solution, lubricants, water based lubricants. They can provide some instant relief during intercourse. So, think of it kind of like a quick fix to add some moisture right before the action. Water based. So, all these little extra motions and lotions and potions and has extra chemicals and artificial things in there. Watch that on the kitty. Take care of the kitty. That's what we need to do. So I have a good, if you look in the show notes of the episode, you'll see a referral link for the brand that I use myself and I recommend for my clients that I give my client. It's called Good Clean Love. Currently, there's within that link, you get $20 off your first order of $30. In the show notes of the episodes, you'll see that link for the referral link for Good Clean Love. You'll be able to find some water based and some other products in there that are safe and that have been approved. That I have personal knowledge of. Another thing, look at moisturizer, vaginal moisturizers. This is still an overhand. This is think of this. This is kind of like your hydration of the vaginal tissue. So kind of like lotion per se. Use that a couple of times a week. It's almost like your daily facial moisturizer, but for the kitty. Need help with navigating some of these things, a pelvic floor PT will be able to help with that. So you can figure out kind of what the fit is. Should you be using some of those products and what it looks like for you? There are prescription options, topical estrogen creams. Those the topical estrogen cream are applied directly to the vajayjay. This can also help with kind of replenishing some of the estrogen levels locally without affecting the whole body. And those are sometimes people use that with people that are uncomfortable with using hormone replacement therapy, or the better term is hormone therapy instead of replacement, because there's rarely any time where they're like replacing hormones with that. So next up is going to be that hormone therapy. So for some people, that systemic or the total body hormone therapy may be recommended for your doctor to kind of address a variety of symptoms. It's really if you're having a lot of issues with hot flashes and night sweats that are really impacting quality of life for you, including vaginal dryness as well and low libido, that's when a more total body action of that hormone therapy could be a role for you. Obviously, this needs to be um, directed by your physician. There are individuals that it's not a fit for, but everybody thinks it's a large stigma. Oh my gosh, it's cancer, cancer, cancer. That a lot of that thing information come out. A lot of that has been adjusted. A good resource for that is to look up the Menopause Society. It used to be called the North American Menopause Society. So look up online the Menopause Society. That has the most recent research and data. It's not going to be so and so said this, or someone trying to sell some gimmicky things, or somebody just sitting over a pot trying to get the toxins out. The toxins need to be get out because you ain't drinking no water. All right, that's all I'm going to say on that. So the next thing is there's DHEA suppositories. That DHEA is a hormone that can be converted into estrogen or testosterone in the body. The suppositories are option for women who experience dryness and discomfort during intercourse. Once again, this is under the prescription options. So that's going to be under the direction of your physician to be able to see if the topical estrogen cream, the total body hormone therapy treatment, or the DHEA suppositories are a fit for you. So that is just a little bit of a nutshell on some of the topics we're talking about. So we're going to go into fitness, wellness over 40. What does that look like for you? Mental health adjustment changes. Going to have solo shows with just myself, as well as bringing on guests. So I got some exciting guests that I'm working on in the background, so that we can get them scheduled as well. So episode 4 is going to be dropping. Didn't you know? Didn't you know? Didn't you know about the random changes that occur age 40 plus? That's next Thursday. We're not. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's going to release next Thursday. Tomorrow, check on IG and Facebook about the contest details. Before we close out, I want y'all to throw out some song titles that I can make some episodes about. So think about, if you're still sitting here live, or you're maybe catching this on the recording, I want to see them song titles. Most of my song titles around 90s, can be 2000s, some good eras of music. I'm going to be taking it back to some old school ones as well. So think about some song titles. If you don't get them now, go ahead and put them on IG, put them in your stories, tag me at Renew Her Physio, hashtag take care of your kitty. Some song titles or topics that you would like to learn more about. So while you're thinking, shout out to my kitty ambassadors who are out spreading the word on the podcast. Hope you guys continue to do so as well. Continue to spread the word, continue support. Appreciate you guys' love and support out here. Perfect. All right. Don't see any more comments on there. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Remember, until next time, take care of your kitty. Thanks for joining me. See ya.